My wife kissed another man on a night out. I wasn't bothered and now she's causing issues over it. Sorry if the title doesn't make much sense, I didn't know how to word it. Also on throwaway, as I don't want this on my main. Bit of context. We've been together since we were 18. Never had a great sex lift after the first year. Maybe once or twice a year at most since then, but at the minute it's going on 3 years, and although it bothers me, I love her and I love our kids, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I know plenty of friends in the same situation. Another bit of context is that I've always been mildly overweight but always fit, as I played a lot of sports until about 10 years ago when I got really ill and a mixtures of meds and comfort eating made me balloon up to nearly 300 pounds. Well, 2 years ago I decided to do something about. I'm now around 200, which at 6 feet 2 inches is the lightest I've been as an adult, and I've actually enjoyed using weights and for the first time in my life have a bit of abs and some muscle. My wife, having always been far hotter, is pretty obvious insecure about the fact that for the first time we've been together, women are starting to look at me and message me on my baking pages on social media. For the record, I've never even looked at another woman in that way. On to the night in question. My wife went out with some friends, a mix of single and in a relationship. She looked stunning and I told her so. I even updated my phone home screen to that picture of her, LOL. One of the friends she was out with messaged me about 3 months, and the gist was she knows I get no sex. My wife doesn't realize how lucky she is, and basically, do I want to hook up? I obviously instantly take a screenshot and send it to my wife. Around 4 a.m. my wife gets home and she wakes me up as she gets into bed. I'm half awake but can tell something is wrong and ask what the matter is. She doesn't say anything for a few seconds, and as I go to grab her hand she pulls away. I ask if she wants me to get her a drink and she says no. Then she just blurts it out and says, I met a guy tonight, he kissed me. I didn't kiss back at first, then I did. Then for the next half hour we were dancing and constantly kissing. She kept saying sorry and begging me not to leave her. My honest first reaction was, so what, it's only kissing and dancing. I didn't say that, I just hugged her and tried to calm her down. An hour or so later, once I got the right words in my head, I said, I know you feel really guilty, but please don't. I'm not going to leave you and break up our family over some kissing and dancing, and I don't love you any less than I did yesterday, and this isn't something that's going to grow and cause and resentment. More or less right on cue my phone goes off, and it's that friend of hers with a picture and a video of what my wife was doing. This set my wife off again, but my feelings still haven't changed, and a month later that remains the case. In that month since then, my wife has accused me of not loving her because I didn't care. She's accused me of kissing other people and more, which is why I didn't care, as I was covering up my own indiscretions, and she's accused me of being gay multiple times, which doesn't make sense. She keeps asking me why I haven't initiated anything with her, even though in the past she's told me she hates being touched and not to ever try it on with her, which I have respected. She's basically projecting, and it's annoying me as it's putting a strain on us, which she is 100% causing. How do I get through to her that she needs to stop feeling guilty and just move on, because I have, as it's not a big deal? I was genuinely more annoyed when she broke my baking bowl and tried to blame it on the cat, LOL. TLDR, wife kissed another man. I don't care, and now she's causing problems because she's guilty and projecting. How do I stop this? Edit. Hi all, just wanted to say thank you all so much for taking the time to respond to me. I really do appreciate it, and I'm overwhelmed you all took the time. I keep getting asked a few questions, so thought I'd address them here. Over the years we have been to a few different couples counselors and sex therapists, the latest being last September for both. My wife always feels like she's being victimized by them, and we stopped going. Nearly all have said, though, they think she is asexual, and two even saying she is displaying a lot of signs of being a closeted lesbian, which I have brought up to her before, and she is adamant she's not. On that note, I've had a lot of messages saying she wants to feel wanted and for me to be more forward with her. This is not true. In all our sessions she said she doesn't want me trying it on with her. She doesn't even want me to initiate hugs, and just bringing up sex makes her feel under pressure. She let me, and our therapists, know that if she ever sex without her initiating, it will be no more than pity sex. As for people saying I don't love her, I buy her flowers every Friday on the way home from work. I bake her favorite cookies or cupcakes every weekend. I send her voice notes of songs I'm listening to that remind me of her. I tell her I love her every day, I run her a bath every night. This isn't me showing off, this is how I was brought up to show love for those saying I must have been brought up in an unloving home. People have said that I don't get jealous, I don't love her. If she told me she was having an emotional affair, she spent hours on the phone with someone else laughing and joking, she snuggled on a sofa eating chocolates and watching TV with someone, etc., I'd be devastated. A dance and a kiss isn't a big deal to me and not even close to divorce. Thank you all again for reading XX. Second edit, sorry for these. It's 7 a.m. in the morning here now, the day after I posted this. Been talking to my wife since 6 and said she's got a week to agree to go back to couples counseling and she's got to stick it out this time and not just accuse them of taking sides and refuse to go back. She said no. She said they all bully her and make her out to be the bad guy. She said I went back on my word that I forgive her and won't resent her. I said this isn't about the kiss, it's about her reaction since the kiss, and that it feels like she's purposely trying to drive me away and make me leave her. She just got up and stormed out the room. She then got dressed and said she's going out until I go to work. Update. It's been nearly 2 weeks since I made the post, and the short update is that we are getting divorced. I said in my last post I told her I wanted us to go back to couples counseling and sex therapy. She said no to both as we went before and she felt bullied. She said it's sex therapy that unless she initiates touching, not just sex, any touching like hugs or hand holding, it will be against her will and will be forced/pity affection from her. The sex therapist said that's very unreasonable and that's why she felt bullied there. I tried to ask her a few questions too. Are you a lesbian or at least bi? Don't be stupid. Are you asexual? I'm not a teenager with a stupid label. What did he have I don't? Nothing, I just wanted to do it. Why don't you ever want to do that with me? Don't know. What can I do to make you want to do that to me? Don't know. Do you want me to take the initiative and try it on with you more? Fuck no, I'll tell you when I want it, don't guess. So she refused the therapy and gave me no straight answers. She has also said I've gone back on my word about not letting the kiss split us up because now it is. I said it's not the kiss, it's your behavior since then that has caused me to want to divorce. She said as it's my decision to divorce and it's all my fault, then I should be the one to tell out kids and she will have no part of it. That was hard. As soon as they were told, my wife left for her sister's, and in the 3 days since I haven't heard anything from her. I've tried speaking to her about the kids as they miss her, but she reads my messages and ignores me. A lot of people asked about the friend and why they still talk after she tried it on with me. How I understand it is my wife tried to get the friend group to cut the friend out, but they all pretty much refused, and so my wife just chose to ignore her in group settings. On the night in question, the friend approached my wife and told her if she didn't tell me she would send me the video. So my wife didn't tell me because she felt guilty, but because she was forced. I've also spoke to a couple of other friends in the group and asked what's been going on. I'm not privy to. Apparently my wife was sexting her friend's boyfriend a couple of years ago. My wife has also been boasting about how she has me under the thumb and she gets away with giving me nothing and I'm too scared to ask. The friend apparently saw me out shopping one day and decided I was now more fuckable and thought she'd try and exact some revenge on my wife. So she didn't really want me, I was just a pawn in this weird friend group's one of many internal beefs with each other which I've found out about in the last few days. Basically they all seem to hate each other and mess with each other's partners. I'll be honest now and I feel incredibly guilty about it, but when she left my body and soul seemed to take a massive sigh of relief. It was like a black cloud that was dripping eggshells on the floor for me to constantly avoid has gone. I feel terrible for feeling this way, but I feel like I'm my 6 feet 2 inches height now, rather a browbeaten 3 foot who was scared to even say anything for fear of being told I'm wrong or insulted or ridiculed. It's like the blinkers have been taken off. Spent the day today baking with my kids, eating Easter eggs and watching cartoons, and I haven't stopped smiling all day. I haven't winced or broke out in a sweat worrying I'm about to be told off about being too noisy or watching the wrong thing on TV or there's a wrapper on the floor, etc. Thank you everyone for your support on my last post. I appreciate you all XX. TLDR, we are divorcing. I told my brother that I wouldn't attend his wedding, new update 7 months later. Me, M25, and my brother, M28, have never had a good relationship, and it only got worse after I came out as gay. Luckily, our relationship has gotten a bit better over the last 2 years. In those 2 years, he met his fiancée. Me and her never got along because she doesn't like gay people. In her mind, we are sick. I had an argument with her once and she told me that I needed help because, in her words, I am sick in the head and need professional help. It's not the only thing she has done and said to me, but I don't want to get into details. So my brother came to visit a couple days ago. It was a surprise since he doesn't visit often. I let him in and we started talking. He told me he was getting married and I congratulated him. We talked for a while longer and then he tells me that he has to tell me something. I asked him what was wrong and he tells me that he wants me to attend his wedding without my husband and instead bring a girl. I asked him why I can't attend with my husband and he tells me that it is how his fiancée wants it and that I should accept it since it would only be for one day. We got in an argument and I told him that he shouldn't expect me to attend since I wouldn't be there. After I said this, he told me that I'm an asshole and accused me of not wanting him to be happy. He left and a couple hours later my mom called me. She asked what was wrong because my brother told her that we had a fight. I told her what happened and she told me that she would like to see me attend his wedding but that she understands if I don't. My father, on the other hand, messaged me telling me that I'm an asshole for hurting my brother's feelings, but his reactions are nothing new. Honestly, I want to attend his wedding because he is my brother and I love him, but as things stand I will not go. Sorry if it is a bit long. Thank you for your time and have a nice day. Update. I want to thank you all for your kind messages. I couldn't reply to them all, but I've read them all. You guys are really kind. Thank you. So I honestly didn't think about posting an update especially so soon, but something happened today so I thought it would be right to post about it. After I made my post, me and my husband had a talk, and to keep it short, he told me I could go if I really wanted to, but I told him I didn't want to without him, so that's that. Now for what happened. Early this morning, I woke up to a lot of texts from family and even friends. They've been messaging me a lot after it all happened. I looked through most of them, but I decided to not reply since most of them were bad. So the morning goes pretty good and me and my husband leave at 11 because we were going to watch his nephew's soccer game. He lost. After the game was over and we left, we just had some fun. An hour after we got home, my sister called me. I picked up and she told me she and our brother had a fight over what had happened. When I asked what happened, she told me that she asked him why I can't bring my husband and he straight up told her it is because he is ashamed of me. After he said this, they got in a huge fight and she told him she wouldn't attend either. We talked for a little bit longer and we promised to meet up in a couple days to spend some time together. I'll admit that when I hung up I started crying. I always thought my brother at least had a little bit of love for me, but I was wrong. I'm honestly planning on cutting him out of my life, and if he ever wants to be back in my life, then he has to show me he deserves it. I'm honestly a mess. I just want all this crap to stop. I hope he has a good wedding and that he'll be happy, but I'm done. Update 2. If you want a full story, then please read my previous posts because in this post I want to finish this whole chapter of my life. So, I'll just say it. I went to my brother's wedding, even though I said I wouldn't. The reason I went is because I wanted to see everyone one last time before I cut contact. It was a difficult day and a lot of people hated the fact that I came, especially the family of my brother's now wife. He came to me once everything was said and done and we had a talk. I congratulated him and told him that I was happy for him, but also that I didn't want to be a part of his life. To my surprise, he looked pretty hurt, but he accepted it. I'll be completely honest. Once I left and drove home, I broke down because no matter how bad things got, I still had love for my brother. Yes, he was a massive prick, but he is still my brother, and for that fact alone, I'll always have some love for him. But that was it for this update. I just want this chapter to have an end so I can focus on myself, my husband, and our happiness. I thank you all for the kind messages that I had gotten from you. Thank you all very much. I hope everyone has a good day.